I'm actually very prejudiced and I'm biased against Christians. Yeah, I'm biased against them. The reason for that being is that, many, as I have seen, right, claims to be followers of Christ, but the way I see them, they're just a bunch of hypocrites. They're a bunch of hypocrites because some of them are, I'm not saying all of them, all right? So some of them or many of them are like very condemning. They're not loving. What else? They're very arrogant. And sometimes, they would invite you to go to Sunday service, and you would see them raising their hands, praising the Lord during the Sunday. And then next thing I know, I'll see them in the bar raising their hands with beer saying cheers. I'm like, so me and my friends were like, oh, is he the one who invited us to church? Yeah, so what happened? So I was like, so some of my friends were like, yeah, another hypocrite. So, and of course that has a negative impact to me. So every time I see a Christian, well, unconsciously, I was like, I want to prove that this one right here is also a hypocrite. I have a bias like that. Right? But then, not to the point that I met this person. Yeah, I met this person. He's not here anymore. He's already in Texas. His name is Zion. All right. So when I met this person, so what I did, I was like, oh, this another hypocrite. Right? I already have my bias right before. That's already my bias. I believe that still, if I talk to someone else, they have their own biases. If you'll see, oh, yan ba yung born again? It's like there's like a negative thinking already when they say that, right? So probably they had an experience with them as well. So to the point that when I met Zion, so what I did is I tried to tempt this guy, right? Just to prove that he's another hypocrite, right? But then again, no matter what I do, he just doesn't give in. So I'm like, what's up with this? What's up with this dude? And he is not very condemning, And sometimes, of course, we have talks, and I'm like, I'm gonna tell him what we did last week or whatever. Oh, tol. So we did this and all of this crazy stuff that I cannot, say it here. And then he was like, he's just gonna smile. He's just gonna smile and be like, ikaw talaga, puro kakalokohan. So I'm not sure how to translate that in English. It's hard. You, so nonsense. Something like that. Something like that. I don't know how to translate that in English. But that's what he says. Right? But he said it not in a condemning way, but in a friendly and loving way. But in Tagalog, it makes more sense. In English, it doesn't make sense. All right. Then I was like, there is something different about this person, to the point that I got attracted and curious about his lifestyle. And now that I became a Christian, I look up to Zion because I believe that he has made a positive impact in my life in order for me to get to know Christ. Therefore, I believe that a true follower of Christ brings godly influence to the world. And as I continue to grow spiritually in my faith, now I know how Zion was able to live a faithful lifestyle. Because the one who is working in him is Christ.